When I was a young girl, one of my biggest fears was that my toys would come alive and torment me somehow. I had no basis for this fear. I was just terrified of the concept that something I trusted so much to just be inanimate would, for some reason, suddenly animate itself. Toys and dolls are a kid's best friends, constant inanimate companions. Mine went with me everywhere. I had at least one doll or stuffed animal with me at all times. Every day, I would spend hours playing with my toys. Sometimes by myself, sometimes with my brothers or some friends, but the toys were always with me. At night, though, I would lie awake in terror that something might happen. I was scared that, maybe out of the corner of my room, I might hear a voice. Maybe something would creep up onto my bed. Maybe my hand would drop while I was sleeping, and I'd be awoken to something grabbing it. After a couple of years, though, this fear subsided as I realized it wasn't actually going to happen to me, and I was just being paranoid. At least, so I thought. One morning when I was in first grade, I awoke to someone shaking me. My mother would wake me up some mornings by lightly shaking my shoulder, so I thought that maybe it was her and that she was just annoyed with me for some reason. I couldn't have been more wrong. Fearing nothing, I began to open my eyes to this new day and was suddenly paralyzed with fear. Staring back at me were two sets of eyes, lifeless in appearance, but clearly full of life. They belonged to two stuffed teddy bears of mine. One was an orange bear, very cheery in appearance with a bright blue ribbon around his neck. The other was your average bear, brown and rather boring, but very fluffy and fun to cuddle. Never again. I remained silent in my terror, realizing that my worst nightmares had come true just when I had finally started to accept how ridiculous they were. They kept shaking me and began to half sing, half scream at me, "Wake up, Rachel! Wake up, Rachel! Wake up!" I was petrified, afraid to scream or talk or make any sort of noise because my 6-year-old mind was utterly convinced that any sound from me would only make the situation worse. I did what any child, defenseless and completely out of their comfort zone, would do. I tried to hide under my covers and wait for it all to go away. I forced my eyes shut and told myself that this nightmare was just that, a nightmare. No matter what I told myself, though, the situation did not become any less real. All I could do was wait. They got louder and louder and started shaking me more and more violently until finally it all came to an abrupt end. I peeked out of my blanket and saw that they had become toys once again, lifeless and collapsed upon my bed. I immediately located scissors in my room and took to dismembering them, paying special attention to the heads. I wanted to be absolutely sure that this would never happen to me again. I took all of the pieces outside and threw them away. Luckily, it was garbage pickup day. My parents questioned me later about strange noises from my room that morning, but I simply told them that I had just been playing. I never told them or anyone the truth. Everyone would think I was crazy.